What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the top 5 best builds in Torchlight Infinite new season. So in this guide I will give you a quick overview of each setup, then I will explain what are their pros and cons, then how do their key mechanics work, then what gear and items should you focus on. And overall, these builds will require little to no investment in order to work properly. They are ideal for newer players or for someone who just wants to have fun while dominating 99% of the content. And before we continue, thanks to U4GM. They are a pro website that provides Torchlight Infinite services like cheap currency with fast delivery and pro carry runs, as well as Flame of the Elementium and much more. They also have more than 17,000 positive comments on Trustpilot, and this website is really worth a try, so make sure to use my discount code KATE for extra 6% off. So let's start with the Erika's Stalker build. This setup is one of the smoothest and fastest options in the current season. She focuses on extremely fast-paced melee gameplay that lets you dart in and out of packs while dealing heavy dexterity-based damage. It's a momentum-heavy build where speed is your weapon and your defense. What makes the build great is its insane movement speed and clear efficiency. Erika can tear through the campaign zones and early maps with ease. It also works well without much gear, making it very friendly for beginners. Then on the downside, the build can feel a bit squishy if your movement slips. It relies heavily on avoiding damage rather than soaking it. Mechanically, Erika generates wind blades through the critical hits and her Stalker talent. These blades will then trigger a chain of attacks when moving, letting her stay mobile while consistently dealing damage. The idea is to stack dexterity for scaling and then use that as the basis for your entire damage output. Mobility skills also will feed in your power by creating a loop of movement and murder. Then for gear, focus on dexterity, critical strike chance and movement speed. Dual wielding daggers or fast weapons works best, and early on you can get away with the rare items with attack speed rolls. You also want to look for modifiers that boost projectile or wind damage, along with anything that enhances evasion. Overall, Erika's Stalker is a top tier choice for anyone looking to speedrun the content, fly through the campaign or transition easily into the early game. It's stylish, very strong and simple. Next up we have the Rehan whirlwind build, which delivers one of the most reliable melee setups in the game. It plays exactly how you expect it. You spin through the packs with a whirlwind, cleave everything in the sight, and sustain yourself with the rage and leech. The build's greatest strength is its simplicity. You don't need the complex rotations or perfect positioning, just spin and win. It's tanky enough to handle heavy hits and clear fast. The main weakness is that it can feel a bit slow before your rage generation kicks in, and that is not the most mobile option compared to the other builds. Rehan works by building up the rage through the combat, which will boost damage and defense. The whirlwind skill will become more powerful as you generate rage, and his hero trait will help to scale that even further. It's all about maintaining uptime on the whirlwind and never stopping your spin by using support skills to increase AoE and leech. Then for gear we want to prioritize strength based armor with life armor and rage generation stats. Weapons with a high base physical damage are key, especially the two-handed ones. You also want to grab anything that adds attack speed, bleed chance or the rage on hit. So, in a summary, this is the build for players who love classic melee damage, and with a lot of screen clearing potential. It's durable, powerful and does not take too much to get going. Next up, now for something completely different. The Iris Fire Spirits build will focus on summoning minions based on the flame that do heavy lifting for you. This is one of the best starter summoner builds right now, by offering excellent safety and consistent damage. The big advantage here is how little input you need. Once the spirits are summoned, they will do all the work, which makes it easy to play with a one hand if needed. It's also very strong early on and scales naturally. The downside is that it's a bit slower in the clear speed compared to the hypermobile builds, and you'll need to position well during the tougher fights. This build revolves around summoning fire spirits and keeping them alive and active. Iris will enhance minion damage with a hero trait, and your job mostly is to cast support spells and keep moving. The spirits will target enemies automatically and deal massive burn damage over time, especially when paired with the minion specific support skills. Then gear wise, you want to aim for bonuses to minion life, fire damage and the burn duration. Then as far as wands or specters go, they will add minion skill level, which are huge early on for power spikes. Then for defensive items, energy shield or movement speed boots will help you to stay mobile and alive. If you enjoy a more passive playstyle and like watching your minions do all the work, then this build is just for you. It's consistent, beginner friendly, and perfectly viable for endgame mapping. Then next up we have the Selena's Howling Gale build, which is one of the best spellcaster options for players looking for a self-cast powerhouse. It revolves around wind-teaming magic that strikes enemies in chains, by offering great control and excellent scaling with the elemental damage. This build's pros include great to mid-late game damage, good aerial coverage, and spell slinging satisfaction. It's also one of the easier caster builds to get going. So then for cons, early on it's a bit slow to start and has lower defenses if you stand still for too long. The key mechanic is channeling the Howling Gale to generate shocked effects and then chain lightning hits through the packs. The build benefits from maintaining spell uptime and leveraging status effects like the shock to amplify damage. The Selena's hero trait will give you the spell damage scaling and elemental penetration as well as cooldown reduction, which all of these will feed directly into the build's smooth rhythm. You want to look for gear that gives you increased spell damage, lightning damage cast speed and elemental penetration. Energy shield based items will also work well for defense, and early mana regen gear will help you to keep your skills flowing. The Selena's Howling Gale is a top tier choice for anyone who wants to feel like a true mage. It rewards timing and smart positioning, but does not push you too hard if you're still learning a spellcaster. And now finally, we have come to the Gemma Ring of the Ice build, which offers a perfect mix of crowd control and the raw elemental power. This is a chill heavy spell build that consistently freezes enemies in place by shattering them with the icy Ring of Destruction. The upside here is control. Mobs are consistently slowed or frozen, which will give you a time to react. It's very effective in packs and boss fights. The downside is that you will rely more on positioning and timing in the early stages, until your freeze chance will ramp up. The build works by casting Ring of the Ice repeatedly, which slows and freezes enemies in its radius. The Gemma's hero trait will synergize well with the chill effects and cold penetration, allowing you to stack massive freeze uptime while dealing tons of damage. The gear should prioritize cold damage, cast speed and the freeze chance, and energy shield for defenses. Early on, getting an amulet or the gloves with the cold penetration is a huge power boost. Mana sustain will also become important, as you spam Ring of the Ice non-stop. If you want to feel in control of every fight and enjoy spellcaster builds with powerful visuals, then the Gemma's cold setup is a top tier choice. It's fun, very strong, and it scales well with minimal investment. So, let me know what you think about these builds in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous best builds tier list video, where I ranked every single build in the game, so click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.